Central Dispatch received a call concerning a fight at the VFW Post on Highway 82 east of Magnolia. Officers from the Columbia County Sheriff's Department, the Magnolia Police Department, and Southern Arkansas University responded to the call. While en route to the scene, Central Dispatch informed the responding officers that gunshots had been fired. Upon arrival, officers were able to locate one victim, Brandon Hobdy, who had been wounded as a result of the shooting, and was informed by bystanders at the VFW Post that a second person, Payton II, was also wounded and transported by private vehicle to the hospital. Both subjects were later pronounced dead there at the Magnolia Regional Hospital. That's all I have at this time. Question.
What leads do you all have so far?
It's still an ongoing investigation, and not able right now to disclose any leads that we have about the investigation. But we are pursuing it vigorously to try to get it solved.
Were the victims inside or outside the VFW when this happened?
I don't have that information.
Okay. Do we know how many shots were fired?
No, sir, I do not.
Do we know how many people were inside the VFW when this happened?
No, sir.
Do we know the approximate number of shots fired at the victims?
No, sir, we don't.
As far as the party was concerned, was this a party that was in conjunction with the school event, or was it totally private from the school?
I think it was what has been taking place before is a back-to-school party.
So what is sponsored by the VFW?
To my knowledge, it wasn't.
Do we know
about the shots there? Were there multiple shots? There's like multiple shots fired?
Yes, sir. But the exact number of shots fired, no, sir, I'm not able to have it.
I had heard that a third person was shot and didn't die.
I have no information on the third person.
Was the shot using a handgun or some type of
I'm not able to release that information to you right now.
Can you tell us more about the call? You said it was a disturbance. How did it come in?
It came in as a fight there at the VFW. And as officers were responding to it, they received a second call that shots had been fired.
When you all cleared the area, did you all get all the students off, or did you all keep the students there in order to investigate? How did it?
Some of the students remained there. Well, some of they weren't all students, but some of the people there at the scene remained there and were able to communicate with the detectives and the officers on the scene.
Okay, are you all able to say whether you all think it was students that actually did the shooting?
We don't have that information right now.
no information whatsoever on the suspects?
No, sir.
It was a release that said they were in a vehicle. No comment on that?
No, sir.
If anyone has any information on this, do they call the Columbia County, or would you rather them call SAD?
The investigation is being handled by the Columbia County Sheriff's Department. If anyone have any information on it, they need to contact the Columbia County Sheriff's Department.
Thank you, Chief. My name is Mike Loe, I'm Sheriff of Columbia County, Arkansas. We call this news conference today to try to answer some questions. With some basic information that you conference today to try to answer some questions with some basic information that you may read. As Chief Maxwell said, Central Dispatch received a call about 1:13 a.m. on Sunday morning about a fight. Quite obviously, the fight turned into some gunshots being fired that resulted in the deaths of people. A criminal investigation was launched by the Sheriff's Office in conjunction with Magnolia Police Department. questions, as long as the questions don't involve a lot of detail or a lot of things that we don't need to make back to public at this time.
Sheriff, was there any on-site security on the scene?
Not that I'm aware.
What do you think about that, given the large number of people who were involved?
Well, that's an opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of asking you for an opinion as a law enforcement officer with experience in these matters. Do you think there should have been on-site security
It
there?
would depend on the security. If you're gonna hire security, you need to hire somebody that can handle a potential volatile situation.
Do y'all have any video from the scene, such as anyone may have taken while they were there? Cell phone cameras being fairly
We do
popular
have some
nowadays.
video and it's secured as evidence.
Excuse me?
We do have some video and we've secured it as evidence.
Can you say as a general nature what this video showed?
Is it helpful to your investigation, this video?
We're reviewing it to try to determine if it is.
Were you able to interview all the people that were at the party or some lead?
We've interviewed quite a few that were at the party, and that is ongoing. Leads are coming in fairly slow on this case. We've been working around the clock since it happened, trying to identify people that were there and interview them back in.
Can you give us any kind of description of the suspects or the vehicles that they may have used?
Not this time.
We don't know if the suspects were white or black, or if
We're
they...
not gonna make any comments about any suspects or anything of that nature at this news conference.
With this being a back to school event, I know, you said SAU wasn't directly in conjunction with SAU, so would that be when Columbia County would have been the police on site of the actual event?
I don't understand your question.
Okay, I understand the party wasn't actually an SAU party, but it was a back to school party.
I don't know that I would say that that was a necessary part.
Right, so if it wasn't directly with SAU, would you all have been the police that would have been security at this party?
No.
I think part of her question may have been, why does the sheriff's office have jurisdiction in this event?
It's in the county. That building is, what, a couple hundred yards outside the city limits, maybe? Approximately.
Okay, this is the first time there has been a party with SAU students at this building?
Well, I don't know. They have parties there a lot.
Is this the first time that there's been a violent act at a party at this building?
This is the first homicide that I can remember that's occurred.
But there have been other violent acts?
Yes.
So why was this building allowed to have a party here if there's a reputation of violent acts occurring in this building?
You would have to direct that question to the people that own that building. They rent that building out.
Do we know who rented the building?
Beg pardon?
Do we know who rented the building for the party? Was it an individual or a group?
VFW.
Well, I know they owned it, but who rented it from the VFW?
They, which group rented it?
Yeah, group or individual.
Well, that's what we're still trying to determine.
Okay.
Were they serving alcohol at this event, or did they?
You're not supposed to serve alcohol in any event. If they want to bring alcohol on the premises and hide it in their vehicles, there's very little that can be done about that as far as the people entering into a police vehicle.
Were there flyers posted around town about this event prior to it actually occurring?
I understand there were some flyers about this party, but I have not seen them. You have questions?
Yeah, may affect that, but give it back on what the thing happened there, and were these individuals the target?
I'm sorry, I can't understand.
Do you, were these individuals that were injured, were they the target, you believe, or?
That's what we're still trying to determine. We're investigating it as a random shooting at this time, but I can't specifically answer that question with what information we have available. people to cooperate.
Approximately how many people aren't cooperating? Do you have an idea as to the number of people who were at the party, or?
We don't know exactly the number that was at the party, and we're not going to release how many people we've talked to.
With the investigation going on, do you all plan on making any arrests anytime soon?
We plan on making an arrest, but I can't give you a time period. Any other questions?
Can I ask a question of the SAU chief?
Sure.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Williams, Anthony Williams, that's spelled, I'm Chief Williams, Anthony Williams, that's spelled A-N-T-H-O-N-Y, W-I-L-L-I-A-M-S, and I'm the newly appointed chief at Southern Arkansas University.
So chief, should your campus be concerned with safety?
In general, we're always concerned with the safety of our kids, regardless of an incident occurring, and this just puts us in a position where we need to heighten our awareness regarding safety.
Given that one of the victims was an SAU student and that another victim was formerly an SAU student, do you fear any possible acts of reprisal among students or toward students because of this incident?
Any act like this, we always fear that there may be retaliation, and so we prepare ourselves as best we can. I've been working, like the chief said, with the Columbia County Sheriff's Department as well as the Magnolia Police Department to make sure that our campus is secure.
Chief, you were formerly with the Dallas Police Department, and as of about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now you're here in South Arkansas dealing with a double homicide. What do you feel about that?
Policing is policing anywhere you go. You would want to think a community like this is immune to such violent acts, but that's not necessarily the case. And so my feelings are no different. If I were in the city of Dallas, my feelings wouldn't be any different.
Chief, could you explain the process of when you all would step into a situation that is like this, with it being so many SAU students in one building?
You know, ours is about educating students on social responsibility. When we have issues like this, if we can get ahead of the issue by looking at flyers, finding out where the parties are, then again, we would get with local law enforcement and discuss with local law enforcement what our law enforcement strategies may be.
So you all, in a sense, are working together on this case?
Absolutely. Any other questions?
My understanding that you broke the news to the team coaches and
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's probably one of the most difficult things that we do as in leadership positions in police departments and sheriff's departments is to deliver death notifications. And that was also done with myself and the Garland Police Department, as well as my meetings with the coaches who made the death notifications.
When did it actually take place, your meeting with the team?
When did it take place? Actually, within a few hours after the incident occurred, which is an important time period for us. That way, it doesn't leave the students wondering what happened. And in a lot of cases, it probably already confirms suspicions that they already have.
Moving forward, if you all do see flyers posted, or if it brought to your attention that there is a party, even though it's not exactly on campus, do you all think you all will have more of a presence at the event?
Well, then again, like I said earlier, we try and do our best, and we will do our best to work in a cooperative partnership with the local police department as well as the sheriff's department. And if we can find out the information through social media or flyers being distributed, then again, we will work in concert with one another to address those issues.
I'd be curious to know as to what perhaps the investigation has learned through social media. With Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, I know that we in the news media routinely scan these media for information, and I assume the police do. I know they do. To what degree, if any, have tweets and Facebook posts and YouTube and other sorts of media been useful in this investigation? I'd ask that question of all three of you gentlemen, what you may have to say about that.
You know, obviously, social media is a very useful tool for law enforcement in terms of finding clues and evidence. Our perspective is a little bit different. For a lot of people, it's just informational. For us, it's investigative information that may be a lead because someone posted something in social media that drew our interest and eventually would draw our scrutiny. Any other questions?
Do these SAU students live on campus?
Which student?
The
The
football player, do he live on campus? On the SAU's campus?
Because of the federal laws, I can't divulge that information.
Are you allowed to